Now turn to Section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of a lesson about sailing for beginners. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Even a basic floating structure like a log raft with a piece of linen attached to a makeshift mast will sail before the wind if you know what you're doing. Now, sailing in other directions is a different story altogether, though. To sail in multiple directions, a boat must be designed and rigged so that the force of the wind moves it across the wind or into the wind, as well as moving it with the wind. This design and rigging process can be quite complicated, but luckily none of you will have to worry about that, as all our boats are primed for the off. What you guys need to focus on is controlling your direction and learning some of the basic maneuvers. These two aspects of sailing will form the core of your training over the coming weeks on this course. Let's start with direction control. A boat with no means of control will travel straight downwind, no matter what direction it is pointing in. Using a rudder to counteract the wind's natural effect on the sail is the first step, therefore, in learning to control the direction you sail in. With a rudder, the bow of the boat can be pointed in any direction you desire. But we need more than just a rudder. Otherwise, there is nothing to stop the boat from sliding sideways when it is moving across the wind. That's where the keel or centerboard comes in. This will prevent any unwanted sideward movement. In our boats, we use a removable centerboard. Why? Because this enables them to sail in shallow waters. If your centerboard is fixed in place permanently, then your boat will ground when you encounter areas of water which aren't very deep. With the rudder for steering and the centerboard to prevent sideward movement, your boat is now capable of travelling in numerous directions. Of the three basic sailing manoeuvres, which are 1. Sailing with the wind, 2. Sailing across the wind, and 3. Sailing into the wind, the latter of the three is by far the hardest. Sailing into the wind is called tacking to windward. In reality, no boat can actually sail directly into the wind. If it does so, its sail will start to flap and become useless. That's where tacking comes in. Boats sail upwind by following a zigzag course. You can generally head to within 45 degrees of the wind direction before your sail starts to flap. And this is what we aim to do when we tack. Because the wind seldom blows with the same force and in the same direction consistently, sailing into the wind requires great skill. Skilled sailors learn to sense the subtle changes in wind direction as they sail along and make minor adjustments for these. It will take you a lot of practice before you can do this effectively. Sailing across the wind is called reaching. Boats tend to clock their fastest speeds when reaching. Sailing with the wind is called running. But contrary to what people might expect, running is not as fast as reaching. This is because the sailor is not able to create his own wind resistance. How much resistance is created is entirely down to the strength of the wind which is pushing against the sail. This afternoon, we'll have our first practical lesson. You will get to know your boats on dry land first, though, and we'll not be taking them out onto the water until tomorrow, and only then if weather permitting. Let's break for lunch now for half an hour or so, okay? That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
That is the end of the listening test. You now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening answer sheet.